With a historical UFC debut in Toronto just around the corner, UFC fighters are getting ready for one of the biggest events in Canadian sports history. Ontario's own Sam Stout dropped by Newmarket Nissan on one of his many visits to various locations throughout Ontario. Stout was on hand to unveil the Nissan Jack Juke, along with a meet and greet for fans who want to show their support for the London-born UFC fighter.
I'm out here with Jack and with Nissan for the unveiling of the Jack Juke. I got to be a part of it, and it's a pretty cool vehicle, so I'm glad I could be here and be a part of it.
We had this fabulous Nissan Juke come into our world in 2011. Just the name Jack just seemed to really suit this car.
They approached us saying they wanted to put something together and make a unique vehicle, and this is what we came up with, right? So we actually designed this with all the artwork from our t-shirts. Jack Juke, come on, can't get any better than that, right? So we put this thing together. This is going to be at all our events now. Coming to the UFC Fan Expo with us in April. Going to help promote Jacked, Nissan, and the sport of MMA in general, right? So just want to obviously get the word out there and promote, the sport as much as possible.
Along with the frenzy surrounding UFC 129 is a whirlwind of appearances for many fighters not competing in the Toronto event. Even though the 26-year-old won't be stepping into the octagon, his teammate Mark Hominick is scheduled to fight Jose Aldo at one of Ontario's most long-awaited MMA events.
It's awesome, Mark's not only a teammate, but he's like a brother to me. We've been training together for 11 years now. We're like family, so to have him fighting for this title, it feels like I'm fighting for the title too. When you're fighting close to home, there's always there's a little more attention on you. It definitely adds a little bit of pressure to be fighting in front of a hometown crowd, especially Toronto, especially the size of the event. But I know for Mark, it's not going to be an issue. He's the most focused guy I've ever seen. So,
in addition to the UFC making its Ontario debut, they recently purchased another MMA powerhouse, Strikeforce. Stout tells us what he thinks of the partnership and how it will affect the world of mixed martial arts.
I think it's a good thing. It adds a couple more pieces to the puzzle, and there's some good lightweights. There's Gilbert Melendez, Josh Thompson, KJ Nunes. Those guys are going to be exciting additions to the UFC lightweight division. Those are the guys I'm really watching. I think it's going to be good. Strikeforce was really just the last big show that the UFC kind of had to absorb. Now there's only one place, the major leagues, is the UFC. So there's going to be smaller shows like MFC and Bellator and stuff like that are still going to be useful because as feeders to the UFC, but the UFC is really the only show in town now.